Hello everyone and welcome to Mexico for round 10 of the 2021 Formula 1 season. We are here for the 2021 season finale here in the Alternative Apex series. The cars are on the grid ready for one final race in this season. It has been a season of highs and lows for all of our championship contenders. Come Mexico, there are two drivers left in it, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. It is really just too close to call at the moment. It is impossible to say. That's the circuit we'll be racing on today. It's the Great Mexico circuit that I look forward to seeing these cars race around. Got a great opportunity for racing the chicanes, turns 1, 2, 3, and then another opportunity to overtake up into turns 4 and 5, plus that long sweeping S section where the drivers are really on the absolute limit of grip. It will be just brilliant to watch across that stadium section at the very end when we do have a champion crowned. Just to see them come through that stadium section will be just something else, really. But the cars are on the grid now, preparing for the race. Similar to the previous two races, we do have quite a few grid penalties that have shaken up the grid once again as the drivers prepare for the final round of the 2021 Formula 1 season. These cars, not the most reliable as they have proven this season, with grid penalties in the last few races being quite popular. But we're now here, and here is the starting grid for the finale in 2021. It is Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, who starts on pole position alongside Sergio Perez, the driver who is teammates to the other championship contender. In third it is Bottas, alongside Lando Norris. Then it's Charles Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda. Then it's Antonio Giovinazzi and Daniel Ricciardo. And only now do we see Max Verstappen second in the championship going into this race, in 9th position alongside Kimi Raikkonen. It's Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly just starting outside the top 10, ahead of Robert Schwartzman and Carlos Sainz. Then behind them it is Pato O'Ward and Fernando Alonso. It is then Vettel and Esteban Ocon, with Mick Schumacher, George Russell, Nikita Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi bringing up the rear of the grid. Max Verstappen, with his third consecutive race with a grid penalty, again starts in the mid-pack. Let's see what he can do. The lights are on, and we are racing in Mexico, and for the final time in 2021 these guys are off the line. Let's see who will lead into turn 1. It's a great start from Lewis Hamilton, who's going to immediately chop across the front of Sergio Perez, who finds himself battling in the mid-pack here. So they come flying into turn 1 for the first time today. There's battling here for second position between Lando Norris and Sergio Perez here. The McLaren of Norris trying to end the season on a high after a tough race in Singapore. What can he do as they make their way up towards turns 4 and 5 now? Lewis Hamilton leads the way ahead of Sergio Perez and Lando Norris. Down in 8th, it is Max Verstappen. He's gained 1 place off this start, but still down the field at the moment, whilst Lewis Hamilton, with his 9-point advantage going into this race, is out in the lead of the Grand Prix. At the end of lap 1, Yuki Tsunoda is pitting for wing damage. It's been a common sight in recent races, but Tsunoda is the latest to suffer wing damage early on in the Grand Prix here. And he makes his way into the pits for repairs to his front wing. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen now up into 7th position here for Red Bull. He is making ground, but it's not coming very quickly for him at the moment, as he's only 7th position and he needs to outscore Lewis Hamilton by 9 points. Verstappen now is going to have a look at Daniel Ricciardo into turn 1 here. He's going to go he's going to go to the outside of his former teammate and up into 6th position, but he's going to have a lot more ground to make up in this race if he wants to take this championship fight to Lewis Hamilton. Speaking of Lewis Hamilton, he's coming under pressure here from Sergio Perez. Perez knows here how crucial it is that he gets ahead of Lewis Hamilton so that his teammate can start to make it up the order and get ahead of the Mercedes driver. Perez also has got his own ambitions. This is his home Grand Prix, of course he's going to desperately want to win it. He's had a solid season so far, with 2 victories, and at one point in the season looking like perhaps the championship contender. But bad luck has stopped him from doing that, but he's now attacking for the lead of the race. Up the inside into turn 1, Sergio Perez to the lead of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton loses out on that position, is now in 2nd position, and will have to try and recuperate here. He knows that he's at the advantage in this championship fight. Verstappen is now into 5th place. Lewis Hamilton with a 9-point lead going into this race. He just has to finish, even though it's just 1 position behind Verstappen, he'll still have the championship. But Hamilton, clearly he doesn't know that, because he's still racing hard for the lead. He wants the win here in Mexico as he's battling hard against the Red Bull of Sergio Perez. That DRS down the main straight, just so powerful, no one can break away out front. Lewis Hamilton though, going for the undercut, is pitting first here, ahead of Lando Norris. Verstappen there pitting. You can see Verstappen has caught up during this first stint of the race and is up not that far behind the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. Let's see what tyres everyone goes on to. I believe everyone will be going to a second set of the soft compound tyres here. As you see quite a few cars in the pit lane at this stage. Norris could potentially pressure Hamilton here for this victory if these two end up out front. The slipstream and DRS looking so powerful. It's going to perhaps come down to when you go for the overtake rather than if you go for the overtake. Now Sergio Perez a lap later will come into the pit lane now ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Antonio Giovinazzi briefly in third position, who I believe may have started on a different tyre in this race. For Perez into the pits now, Valtteri Bottas also in. Red Bull and Mercedes quick pit stops there from both of them. Perez making his way down the pit lane now. Let's see, where is the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton? Has Hamilton managed to pull off the undercut? There he goes by. Lewis Hamilton is in the lead of the Grand Prix, well, the net lead of the Grand Prix at least. A few drivers yet to pit. Lewis Hamilton though back out in front here in Mexico, but he's got Lando Norris right behind him at the moment, and Perez has lost out in that pit stop window. Meanwhile, further back there is some battling going on. Now we've got a wheel-to-wheel battle here between Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen. Lewis Hamilton having to get past these slower cars that have gone a bit longer in this first stint, and having to clear of these cars relatively quickly to try and get himself a bit of a gap to those behind. Now you can see this gap starting to build as Norris is getting stuck behind the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. No, that's a puncture. That is a puncture to the front left of Lando Norris. Lando Norris had a puncture there on his front left tyre. It looks like he may have tried to go offline, or has he touched someone? I would guess he's hit debris there whilst going offline for an overtake, but that is heartbreak for Norris, who looked like perhaps an outsider for the race win here today, who now makes his way into the pit lane and out of real contention for this Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton trying to take the on-track lead away from Antonio Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi's gone a little bit long in this race. Giovinazzi sends it back up the inside. Has he got around there? He has. Giovinazzi's spun in front of our championship leader and race leader. Lewis Hamilton's getting past. Perez is past. There's some debris flying now. That's Valtteri Bottas into the back of his teammate. Lewis Hamilton going slowly, and that has allowed Sergio Perez into the lead. And Valtteri Bottas has lost his wing there in the ensuing carnage. Max Verstappen right up to the back of this group of cars, and the safety car has been deployed here due to a build-up of debris on the track. And into the pits comes Valtteri Bottas without a front wing. That is unsurprising. But now the championship contenders are right next to each other on the racetrack. It is Sergio Perez in the lead, Lewis Hamilton in second, Max Verstappen is in third position now, and perhaps if there's some team orders here, this could well change from Hamilton's race to Verstappen's in no time. But the championship's still very close. We are now under the safety car. Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly, the top two outside of the podium positions. But we're now getting ready to go racing again. Sergio Perez in front of his home crowd. What can he do? Can he put a show on for his, well, all his fans here at the Mexico City circuit? They are racing again down the main straight. Sergio Perez leads the field away. Lewis Hamilton have a go on the restart. Look at the slipstream he gets down this straight. But is he going to push the lead this early on? Max Verstappen's the one pressuring Lewis Hamilton here. Great restart from Verstappen. He's going to go to the outside of Lewis Hamilton into turn one. The two championship rivals are going wheel to wheel here through the first chicane. On they touch, they bang wheels there as they make their way through the chicane here in Mexico. The two championship rivals banging wheels as they duel over that position. Who's going to come out on top? Is they're still wheel to wheel going through yet another chicane here. Who will come out on top on this occasion? Verstappen doing all he can on the outside, Hamilton on the inside. They're absolutely wheel to wheel here, these guys, leaving each other no extra space at all. This is for the championship. They know it's all or nothing here, and Verstappen gets ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton now under pressure from Pierre Gasly. Lewis Hamilton getting a bit wide through that little S section there, and is now feeling the pressure from Gasly, who's going to attack. Of course, the AlphaTauri car that is being driven by Pierre Gasly as he gets around the outside of Lewis Hamilton is, of course, owned by Red Bull, so he's very much going to want to try and support his big brothers at Red Bull. And that's Pierre Gasly up ahead of Lewis Hamilton here. Lewis Hamilton dropping quickly on this restart. Through the final corner they go. Oh, what is that? To the pits. Lewis Hamilton is pitting here. Lewis Hamilton has got wing damage when battling Verstappen, and Lewis Hamilton is into the pits. A for sure championship has just been thrown out of the window as Lewis Hamilton is into the pit lane and will drop to last place in this Grand Prix. Lando Norris again also coming to the pits here with some more issues. But out in the front, it is Sergio Perez who leads this Grand Prix for Red Bull, ahead of Max Verstappen, the driver who is currently now in position to win this championship. Pierre Gasly is in third place in this race at the moment, and Red Bull, I mean, if you're the owner of Red Bull at the moment, you'll be very happy with this current top 3. Meanwhile, we've got a duel here, full P6. Carlos Sainz getting past Pato O'Ward, or is that Pato O'Ward potentially pressuring Carlos Sainz here? Looks like a nice little battle between these two drivers. And into the pits, lap 21, Max Verstappen here. This is a scheduled pit stop. So don't worry, Verstappen fans. Verstappen has got no damage here compared to his championship rival. Putting on the medium tyres, that'll take him to the end of the Grand Prix here. Now, I believe Lewis Hamilton has had to go to the hards to try and get to the end of the Grand Prix. Where will Lewis Hamilton come out here? How far behind his championship rival? Has he got any chance of salvaging this championship fight? Max Verstappen's going to come out of the pits here in 8th place. Lewis Hamilton still way down the order, in 16th at the moment, behind Nikita Mazepin. Sergio Perez, a lap later, is going to come into the pits here. Will he have successfully covered off from the undercut from his teammate? I imagine his teammate isn't too worried at the moment about going for the lead, and will be quite happily running in second, but if Lewis Hamilton makes any more progress, we could well see the Red Bull drivers switching around to help Max Verstappen out here. Pato O'Ward going a bit longer in this stint. Looks like he's going to take the lead on track. The other Mexican driver in the field, his home Grand Prix as well here. A few more drivers flying past on the main straight. I think some drivers are going for a bit of an alternative strategy, including Lance Stroll and Kimi Räikkönen. Both look to be going to the hard tyres until the end of the Grand Prix. So this is for full position here. But Perez has cleared those very nicely. Now it's Verstappen's turn as he goes up the inside of Kimi Räikkönen. Got to be so careful now. Can Max Verstappen avoid any damage here as he battles these slightly slower cars? Looks as though he has done. Verstappen still now in control of this World Championship. Lewis Hamilton making progress up the field. At the moment he's in 16th place. Hamilton continuing to make moves. He's now on the back of Nikita Mazepin. That Mercedes car may be on the harder tyres, but it is still, well, it's just such a quick car, and is now up into 13th place. If Verstappen finishes second in this Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton needs 5th position to be the world champion. Max Verstappen now making that move for second place on Pato O'Ward. Down the main straight, should be a nice and easy pass for the Red Bull driver with the power of DRS. Towards turn 1 they go. And that is a nice and easy move for Max Verstappen. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton, the other championship contender, making his way up the order into 11th position now. Each overtake he makes, he's one position closer to getting back into the position to win the championship. As I said, all he needs is a P5 here, if Verstappen stays in P2, which at the moment with Perez's pace looks very likely. As Pato O'Ward, currently running in the 3rd position, will come into the pits. He went slightly off strategy, went to the mediums for that middle stint, whereas most went to the softs. He'll be on the softs for the final stint of this race, so look out for him to make some overtakes come the end of this Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton still in 11th, and as Pato O'Ward pits, he will gain another position. Battle here going on. We've got Kimi Räikkönen ahead of Charles Leclerc, and we've got a little bit of a battle further back here. Tsunoda, Stroll and Ricciardo also trying to get involved here. Räikkönen on those hard tyres, starting to bunch up a little bit of a group here. Räikkönen currently running the 4th position, so if this battle, if Lewis Hamilton can make it to the back of this battle, which he is only maybe 3 or 4 seconds off of, he could well have a chance at this championship still. He's in 10th at the moment is Hamilton, but he is making moves up the order. Battle here between Kimi Räikkönen and Charles Leclerc, they're battling away. Räikkönen, he's got many years over Charles Leclerc in Formula 1. And they're banging wheels. They make their way through the stadium section, putting on a great show for all the fans here who've turned out to this exciting championship finale. Charles Leclerc's on the inside. Kimi Räikkönen not able to fight that one back, but look at the position Kimi Räikkönen's in for this long straight. He's going to have an immense slipstream as they make their way down towards turn 1. He's got DRS as well. He's going to fly past here as they make their way, and that's Tsunoda trying to get both of them. Tsunoda here, what a great move it looked like it could well be. And around the outside, will he manage to make it off? He's wheel-to-wheel with Kimi Räikkönen here. Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri, his teammate's currently running 3rd. Tsunoda looking to try and take this 4th position. They're still wheel-to-wheel through the chicane. Tsunoda has the DRS, but so does pretty much everyone in this group. And they fly up towards turns 4 and 5, battling into the chicane. Tsunoda on the inside for the first apex, but on the outside for the second apex. Kimi Räikkönen keeping his nose in here. That's Hamilton on the back of this group of cars now. And Kimi Räikkönen still holds on to the position. Each lap that Kimi Räikkönen stays ahead, it's a chance for Lewis Hamilton, who is now into 9th place. Tsunoda now finally looking like he might finally make this overtake into 4th place, and it looks like with the power of the DRS he can make that move nice and easily. Ricciardo now pressuring Kimi Räikkönen for the 5th position. That's the position Hamilton needs to be champion. All big contact between the two of them. That could be some that debris there. That is, I believe, off the wing of the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo. So that could be a problem for Ricciardo. He may have to pit here, as I believe a car is stopped at the side of the track. I believe it, maybe Antonio Giovinazzi, who's had an engine failure there, but no safety car of any form. And Daniel Ricciardo does look to have some damage here, because Raikkonen's fighting back as they make their way into the stadium section. Can Charles Leclerc have a go at the McLaren here? The McLaren will be coming to the pits at the end of this lap, I am certain, because that end plate being completely missing. You can see the amount of time he's losing here. And into the pits will come Daniel Ricciardo, releasing this train of cars once more to hunt down Kimi Raikkonen. A train that now does have Lewis Hamilton in it. Hamilton now into 8th position. He just needs 3 more places to be world champion. He's behind the 2 Ferraris here. Can he get both of them in one go? He's going to make it 3 wide going into turn 1 here. They're 3 wide into the braking zone. Who will come out on top here? They're banging wheels going into turn 1, and that's getting past all 3 of them. Lando Norris, what a move. As this pack of cars squabble and more contact there. And that's Pato O'Ward getting involved, and Lewis Hamilton there has gone from going for the overtake to try and get himself back into a championship contending position. He now finds himself down in 11th place, stuck behind this pack of cars. Stroll and O'Ward wheel to wheel here. O'Ward on those soft tyres. It looks like he's got much more grip than those around him. He's going to try a move here on Charles Leclerc all the way around the outside. Look at how much more grip that Chevrolet has than the Ferrari. Those tyres, those fresh, soft tyres, doing very well at the moment. But Lewis Hamilton dropping back from this pack. Has he got more wing damage here? He's dropping back, he must do. Lewis Hamilton must have more wing damage in this race, and it's all going wrong for the Mercedes driver. He had the wing damage in Singapore, which cost him a chance at the win. And now it looks like he may well have wing damage here again. For the 2nd time in Mexico, Lewis Hamilton does come into the pit with wing damage. And surely now, that is his championship challenge done and over. They're replacing the wing now, and it's a somber mood at Mercedes, you can imagine. They're witnessing their championship challenge be taken away from them. Lewis Hamilton trundles down the pit lane now, and will surely drop to the back of the field. Charles Leclerc also looks to have picked up some damage in that group of cars. So Hamilton's not the only one. It appears to have affected a couple cars, and a lot of other cars in this race have also been affected. As Valtteri Bottas now gets past Lance Stroll, demonstrating how good that Mercedes car is. And Bottas up into 9th position. But it's now looking like it's very much Verstappen's to lose, and it would take something catastrophic to go wrong for Max Verstappen now if he were to end up losing the championship. We've got a battle here for P5. Lando Norris making the move on Kimi Raikkonen for the 5th position. Gets ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver through the chicane now. Carlos Sainz now on the back of Kimi Raikkonen as they make their way up towards turns 4 and 5. Been a real good opportunity for overtaking, but Carlos Sainz on this occasion isn't able to make the move stick, despite the DRS on Kimi Raikkonen. Into this double apex hairpin now. Pato O'Ward is going to try the same move he put on Charles Leclerc on this 2nd Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. They're wheel to wheel going into the S section now. Sainz had a tough season. He's starting to recover some points now towards the end of it, but he loses a position there to Pato O'Ward, who is now up to 7th position and is immediately on the back of Kimi Raikkonen for 6th, sending it one to the inside there, going towards turn 1. And Pato O'Ward is up into 6th position for Chevrolet. That could be crucial points in the midfield battle, which could well bring home some extra prize money for Chevrolet, who of course as a new team will need all the cash they can get. Carlos Sainz again not able to get quite close enough for Kimi Raikkonen on that last lap, but this time he does have a chance on the penultimate lap of the race. Carlos Sainz is going to breeze past the Alfa Romeo down towards turn 1 now. Carlos Sainz up into 7th position. That's 6 points if he ends the race there. But today has been Red Bull's. Sergio Perez leading his home Grand Prix through the stadium section for the final time today. Sergio Perez now through the final couple of corners. The Red Bull driver will take his 3rd win of the season and his 1st on home soil. Sergio Perez takes the win in Mexico, but it is his teammate who will take the Formula 1 World Championship in 2021. Max Verstappen is your champion of the world. What a drive. Pierre Gasly gets P3 for AlphaTauri, and it'll be P4 for Yuki Tsunoda. What a race, and what a day it has been for the Red Bull organisation. They win the race. They take home the Drivers' Championship. They take home the Constructors' Championship. And Red Bull-owned cars finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. What a day for that organisation. But it's this man's day. Max Verstappen is your champion of the world in 2021. Finally, this youngster who's been destined for a world championship for years now, finally is given the opportunity, and Max Verstappen grabs that opportunity with both hands and wins the world championship. You can see there the Red Bull pit wall overjoyed with that news, and I think a lot of happy Dutch fans out there will be elated to see that Max Verstappen is the 2021 Formula 1 World Drivers' Champion. The race winner today, Sergio Perez, let's not gloss over that drive. A fantastic drive by the Mexican driver on home soil to get a win. I'm sure that will be very meaningful to him as we now wait for the podium ceremonies to begin here. And I think it'll be a very happy podium here. Sergio Perez winning on home soil, Max Verstappen winning the World Championship, and Pierre Gasly getting a podium. It is a great day for Red Bull, and a great day for Formula 1 as a new World Drivers' Champion is crowned, taking it with 4 wins throughout the season, 1 more than his teammate and 2 more than his main championship rival. Max Verstappen, it's hard to say, he deserved this World Championship. For Hamilton, he managed to claw back some points later in the season, but a great drive from Max Verstappen, taking advantage of Mercedes' issues, and Max Verstappen wins the World Championship. Here is your final results here for the Mexican Grand Prix. Sergio Perez, of course, takes the win in a Red Bull 1-2 ahead of Max Verstappen. Then it's an AlphaTauri 3-4 with Gasly taking the podium ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Lando Norris gets another strong finish here in 5th place for McLaren ahead of Pato O'Ward in his home Grand Prix. I'm sure that'll feel like a win, getting a P6 for him. Then it's Carlos Sainz taking home P7 after a disappointing season with Ferrari. Valtteri Bottas gets P8 after starting 3rd. It's not what he would have wanted, but it was a tough day for the Finnish driver. Then the other Finnish driver in 9th place, Kimi Räikkönen for Alfa Romeo, getting them 2 more crucial points. That will crucially give them another position in the Constructors' Championship. And Fernando Alonso getting a point for Alpine, and not a great day for them. But some excellent drives on display today. Kimi Räikkönen doing that 1 stop and getting that P9, so demonstrating that there's a range of strategies here. Lando Norris, 3 stops, having a puncture, getting wing damage, and he still goes and gets P5. Not many drivers could have done that. I think he is truly, we talk about stars of the future, Lando Norris is a man to watch, but this year is very much Verstappen's and Red Bull's, so congratulations to the team and the driver as they win the 2021 championship here in the alternative Apex series. What a year it has been. Some drivers who did not quite have a good result today. Daniel Ricciardo just missing out on a point. The Australian driver still gets P6 in the standings, but that's not where he would have wanted to end up come the end of the season, and not the best position for him today. Here is the Drivers' Championship and confirmation that Max Verstappen does win the World Championship by 9 points. The gap that he was behind going into this race was also 9 points. He managed to pull 18 points over his championship rival to take the championship here. Sergio Perez, with that win, gets himself into 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, beating out Valtteri Bottas, who had a tough day. Sergio Perez, the Mexican driver, only ending up 25 points off the championship lead. That's a great season there from Sergio Perez, and definitely one to watch next season. If he had the issues in Portugal, he had the engine failure in Spa. Take out those issues, and Sergio Perez could well have been champion today. And well, wouldn't that have been a sight for the home fans? 4th position in the championship, Valtteri Bottas. A tough season for the Finnish driver. He was on the wrong end of a lot of incidents, but again, similar to Perez, look out for him next season. A clean slate to start the season, and who knows what he'll be able to do. 5th position, Lando Norris. If McLaren can make a car next season that can win races, he'll win races. Then Ricciardo, 6th in the championship, another driver just with a very strong season, and that McLaren looking very strong, especially later on in this season, despite having some issues today. Charles Leclerc gets 7th position in the championship for Ferrari. The car, I think it was a car good enough for at least 7th in the championship. Carlos Sainz perhaps slightly underperforming, but that's Still a great job from Charles Leclerc to get 7th in the championship, ahead of Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. AlphaTauri getting 8th and 9th in the Drivers' Championship. They'll be very happy with that, I am certain. And the final 10th position in the World Championship is Pato O'Ward for Chevrolet, the rookie driver in the rookie team, both in their rookie season, getting 10th in the Drivers' Championship, equal points with Yuki Tsunoda. I think they'll count themselves quite successful on that one. Then, of course, the Constructors' standings. Red Bull leads the way by 27 points and wins that Constructors' Championship. Despite coming into this race on the back foot, they got a 1-2, whilst Mercedes got 4 points with an 8th place. That just shows you how quickly these things can swing here in Formula 1. And Red Bull take home the Constructors' Championship ahead of Mercedes. Second is still a lot of money, but it's not the money that they're doing this for, of course. It's a nice bonus, but they want the silverware. McLaren get third in the Constructors. I think that's a position that never really looked in doubt. At one point they were looking like, after Monza, it looked like maybe if there was anything catastrophic to happen to Red Bull or Mercedes, then maybe McLaren could get in the fight there, but a bad couple of races to win the season. I mean, McLaren still comfortably third, but not quite the dream Constructors' Championship they could have potentially won. Ferrari bring home 4th in the Constructors. Given some of their mid-season worries, I think they'll be happy to spring that one home. I think going in they would have been aiming for 3rd in the Constructors, but 4th place, given some of the issues they've had this year, I'm sure they can't be disappointed with that. AlphaTauri bring home P5, and a great way to bring it home, but a 3rd and 4th here in Mexico. AlphaTauri sealing that and actually looking like a strong team for next season to keep an eye on with a very nice driver lineup. Aston Martin takes 6th in the Constructors' standings by just 3 points over Chevrolet, who have a nice big jump in this finale, ahead of Alfa Romeo, who on countback beat out Alpine for that 8th position. Alpine finishing 9th in the Constructors' Championship. That will be a disappointment for the French team in their first year under the Alpine name. Williams and Haas both not scoring points, but Williams gets that 10th place on countback, so congratulations to them on that result. But there are your Constructors' Championship for the 2021 Formula 1 season. So, that was the 2021 Formula 1 season brought to you by Alternative Apex. Thank you to everyone who joined us on this journey in Season 1 of the series. I thoroughly enjoyed making these, and I really hope you guys enjoy them anywhere. If you enjoy these anywhere near as much as I enjoy making them, I will be over the moon. And I look forward to hearing your responses to that great championship finale, and leave us your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the series, please make sure to subscribe, because in just a few days time we will be going racing in 2022. So who knows what will happen then. We had a pretty crazy 2021 season. I think there's more of that to come next year, and I hope that I'll see you all on the other side of that one. But yes, thank you everyone for watching this season from Bahrain, Portimao, Spain, Canada, Paul Ricard, the Red Bull Ring, Spa, Monza, Singapore, and finally in Mexico. It really was a journey that we went on, and I'm so glad that we could go on this journey together through the 2021 Formula 1 season. It truly was an experience, I think it's fair to say. As I said, next season will start next week, so make sure to tune in for that one. And there will be some changes for that season, perhaps some driver transfers. The pecking order might be mixed up a little bit. Who knows what the future may bring. So make sure to tune in next week for the 2022 Formula 1 season beginning. The season preview will come out on Sunday, and round 1 will of course come out on the Monday just after it. So that was it for the 2021 Formula 1 season in Alternative Apex. I hope everyone really enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you all guys again next season. But until then, goodbye.